G'day and welcome to the epic Blue Mountains National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage-listed region of outstanding natural beauty, located just 90 minutes drive west of Sydney. The Blue Mountains are popular with day trippers and short break escapees alike, and there are endless ways to spend your time. Great bushwalking is just the beginning. I'm Adam Ford from Top Oz Tours, and in this video we bring you tips for 10 amazing things to do in the Blue Mountains. We'll conquer the Giant Stairway at Echo Point and ride the awesome Scenic Railway. Pound the pavement on a guided walking tour of the village of Leura. Get arty at the Blue Mountains Cultural Centre. Sample some fine wines and bonza brews at Dryridge Estate and Mountain Culture Beer Co. Stop and smell the flowers in the Blue Mountains Botanic Garden. And much more. But before we make tracks, take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing travel ideas. We're spending the first half of our stay at the supremely comfortable Leisure Inn Spires, which is located just steps away from the heritage township of Leura, with its plethora of cafes, galleries and boutiques. You can't get any closer to the village than this. Set within beautifully landscaped grounds, the hotel offers studio rooms along with 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, which are generously sized and offer a separate lounge and dining area, fully equipped kitchen and laundry facilities. This is the ideal spot to base yourself on a visit to the Blue Mountains, and we've got some exploring to do. Alrighty, well, good morning and welcome to Leura here in the Blue Mountains, one of the most popular spots with visitors. We're going to take a look around a little later on a guided tour with Sue at Mountains Tales. I'm looking forward to that. But right now, let us meet 3 very famous siblings and do what the Blue Mountains does best, a spot of bushwalking. Now, there are endless bushwalking trails across the mountains, but if you only have time to do one, head for famous Echo Point in Katoomba. It offers views of the wider region that will take your breath away, and this is the vista that most people have come to see. Wow, all right, well, let me introduce you to the amazing 3 sisters, 200 million years old, not looking a day over 100,999,999 days. I think that's right. So basically what we're going to do today is bushwalk down the Giant Stairway, which runs down the far side of the 3 sisters. We're going to follow the escarpment all the way around through the Jamison Valley and come up on the Scenic Railway. Well, that's the plan. Let's do it. If your knees are in good nick, going down the Giant Stairway is certainly easier than climbing up, but it's still a relatively taxing experience, so take it easy. Once you reach the valley floor, hang a right and follow the Federal Pass track. The walk to the Scenic Railway's Valley Floor station will take you around 2 hours at a relaxed pace. Remember, when doing any bushwalk in the Blue Mountains, seek the advice of the local authorities before setting out and always let someone know of your plans. Having passed the base of sublime Katoomba Falls, it's time to take a seat for the ride of your life. Operated by Scenic World, the Scenic Railway is the world's steepest passenger rail service and has been thrilling guests for decades. It's worth mentioning here that Scenic World doesn't offer a one-way ticket for bushwalkers. You'll have to buy a full-day pass or tackle the nearby Furber Steps. The pass does also entitle you to ride the Scenic Cableway and Skyway, and the latter will transport you back across the Jamison Valley towards Echo Point. Back in Leura, it's time to meet Sue from Mountains Tales for our walking tour of the Federation-era village, which was established in the late 1800s and became popular as a retreat for well-heeled Sydney-siders in the 1920s and 30s. Sue is an engaging host and sets a relaxed pace, covering a distance of 1.5 kilometres over the course of 2 hours. You'll get the lowdown on many landmarks of note, including the ill-fated Chateau Napier and the Gothic-style Ritz Guesthouse. And I asked Sue to tell me more about the Heritage Post Office.
Yeah, 1913, this particular one. It's quite interesting. So think about every village that you've been to. Where is the post office? It's always in the centre of town. It dictates where the centre of town is. And in 1903, it was actually the other side of the highway. And there was a bit of a to-ing and fro-ing as to where the centre of town was going to be. But I think you'll agree with me, this one here, 1913. It's a beautiful old building. It originally started with the postmaster's residence at the back and a couple of stables as well. I read somewhere that it's the most photographed building in the village. That may or may not be so, but it's certainly a beautiful building to come and check out.
Jump on Sue's website for tour dates and deets. Okay, now we have filmed a lot of museums and galleries for these videos, but I think I can safely say that we have never filmed a teapot museum. Well, all of that is about to change here in Leura, and I believe that a very fine cup of cha is on the cards. From the moment you step through the door, a visit to Bygone Beauties is an absolute delight. It houses the aforementioned Teapot Museum along with a popular tea room. More on that in a tick. The museum displays around 5,000 pieces of tea pouring paraphernalia from across the globe, although I'm reliably informed that the total number of pieces in the collection is double that number. The tea room is packed with old world charm, and while you can opt for a standard Devonshire tea, I've decided to push the boat out on something a bit more grand. Accompanied by strains from Land of Hope and Glory, Bygone Beauties High Tea is a fitting tribute to this most British of traditions. The Blue Mountains is home to a large arts community. Drop by the Blue Mountains Cultural Centre in Katoomba to learn more and grab a great coffee in the process.
My name is Rilka Oakley and I am the Blue Mountains Cultural Centre's Artistic Program Leader. Well, this is the gallery and this is where we have changing exhibitions regularly every roughly 8 weeks. We have touring exhibitions coming from other institutions like the Art Gallery of New South Wales. We also curate in-house shows like the current show, The Semblance of Things, but portraits by Nick Stathopoulos. He is local, but also has a studio in Sydney. And these are all portraits that he has done over the last 30 years. We also at the moment have a community show, Blue Mountains Portraits. It's an annual show for locals to submit portraits of local people. Every year there's a similar range of exhibitions. I think if you come to the Cultural Centre, you'll get to connect with our local community. You'll see art from the mountains, products from the mountains in the shop, or you can just hang out in the lounge and enjoy the atmosphere.
One of the portraits on display at the Cultural Centre during our visit was this one of local potter Ian Smith, painted by renowned artist Anne Smith. Together, they run the fabulous Falls Gallery in Wentworth Falls, and we decided to drop in and say hi. If you have a serious interest in Australian art, the gallery is well worth a visit. It displays work by Arthur Boyd, John Olsen, Gary Sheed and Wendy Sharp, and of course by Ian and Anne themselves. We had the opportunity to take a look inside their respective studios and get an insight into their creative processes. Check the Falls Gallery website for the latest information on opening hours. Time for a change of pace and hotel as we decamp to the YHA Blue Mountains, conveniently located on the edge of Katoomba's bustling CBD. The YHA occupies a historic interwar era guest house known as Homesdale and is packed with period character. The vibe is relaxed and welcoming. In addition to dorm-style accommodation, the property offers good value double and family ensuite rooms and the use of a shared kitchen. Digital nomads like me will love the Y-Hive, a quiet co-working space complete with ergonomic workstations and high-speed Wi-Fi. Casual access passes can be purchased from reception. Now, the horticultural scene here in the mountains is very, very famous. Of course, you've got the Leura Garden Show, which takes place in late September, early October. We're not in town at the right time to see that, but we are doing the drive out to the Blue Mountains Botanic Gardens at Mount Tomah. It's about a 40-minute drive from Katoomba. I think it'll be worth it. We're going to bring in an expert to grow our knowledge of cool climate plants here in the mountains. See what I did there? Plants, grow our knowledge. I've still got it. And I'm happy to report that it was well worth the drive. The garden is spectacular. Make your first stop the excellent Visitors Centre, which offers an incredible view of the lower gardens and surrounding landscape. And there's our expert, Ian.
Well, the Blue Mountains has a great climate. We have about 1,200 mils of rain per year, and we get a nice cold season as well as a warm summer. So the plants that we're able to grow are quite diverse. We're a cool climate garden predominantly and focusing mainly on the southern hemisphere, but we do collect plants from around the globe. We have a huge amount for people to see, many different gardens. Some of the ones that we are very proud of, we've got a Gondwanan section with the Wallamai collection in there. Some of those Wallamais are the original Wallamais that were collected from the ones found out in the wild. We've got this formal garden which we're currently in now, which is always full of colour and just a great, excitement. We have 150,000 daffodils in the brunette meadow. People can come and see that in winter. We've got red maples in autumn, we've got proteas in summer, cherry blossoms in spring. There's always something to see.
Thanks, Ian. And if you happen to be visiting on a Sunday, jump on the garden's free guided tour with a knowledgeable volunteer guide. Departing Mount Tomah, we take a detour at Blackheath down into idyllic Megalong Valley to visit Dryridge Estate, a stunning winery with mind-blowing views back towards the Blue Mountains. It's a complete surprise to find something like this so close to the mountains, and I asked director Emma McMahon how it came about.
The previous owners, Bob and Barbara Tyrrell, they wanted to pioneer viticulture in the Blue Mountains. So they had been in love with the Megalong Valley as a region for a long time. So they decided to plant grapes here 23 years ago. We grow beautiful Shiraz, Tempranillo, Riesling and a Cabernet on this property. And then the rest of the grapes we buy from Mudgee and Orange to blend with ours. So a visit to Dryridge would include tasting of 7 different wines. Our staff serve you to your tables. We do a ploughman's lunch for 4 people, which is pickles, cheese, breads, olives, meats. We do a cheese and charcuterie for 2, which is more delicate. It's got some cold meats and cheeses on it, and then a cheese board for 2 as well. And we do have vegan options available from a girl in the Blue Mountains who makes cheese from cashew nuts. We're 20 minutes from Blackheath by car, so most people stay between Wentworth Falls, Katoomba and Blackheath if they're coming here, mostly by car, but we do have a shuttle bus that runs on Saturdays from Katoomba.
Connoisseurs of a good brew and burger are also in luck in Katoomba. Centrally located on Park Street in the old Echo newspaper building, circa 1912, and complete with lots of surviving period detail, Mountain Culture Beer Co. is quite the find.
Mountain Culture is a brewery here in the Blue Mountains. We make really cool beers. We do tons of limited release beers. We've got a really cool core range of beers. We just won Best Beer in Australia, the Gabs Hottest 100 with our Status Quo Pale Ale. That's just got voted as the best beer, which is a pretty amazing feat. Everyone that works here is welcoming, super passionate about it. It's a great place to come. Like after a hike, like the mountains is such a beautiful place for hiking, for canyoning, swimming. There's so many beautiful things to do. To get exhausted, to then come have a beer after, it's the best. Yeah.
We wrap up this video back in Leura with a visit to one of the village's most popular stores. Josophan's Fine Chocolates has been handcrafting its wares from fair trade certified Belgian Couverture chocolate since 2005 and is an Aladdin's cave of sweet treats. No preservatives or artificial flavours are used in production, meaning that you do need to polish off your purchases relatively quickly. And somehow, I don't think that will be a problem. For more ideas for amazing things to do in the Blue Mountains, just head to our website.